Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button down below. Now, today's video is going to be a get ready with me ride or die version. So if you are ready to see my favorite products, keep on watching. So the very first product that is my ride or die is going to be an eye primer, which is one that I use in every video. It is the Stay Don't Stray by Benefit. It is the perfect eyeshadow primer for me because it's not too dark as well as it's not like really, I don't know, too liquidy. It actually sticks a lot quicker to my eyeshadow and it lasts all day, so I definitely prefer this one. For eyeshadow, my ride or die has to be the Jaclyn Hill by Morphe palette. It is an amazing palette. It has all these wonderful colors that you can play with, and the pigment is just really spot on. Now, the very first two shades I'm going to actually take are these ones right here, and I am sorry, but I don't remember all their names. The only downside to this palette, I would say, is that it doesn't have the names quite on this one. It is the very first edition, but I believe the newer one does have the names. And we're just going to blend it into your transition. Well, not your transition, you're going to be blending it into your crease. The next shade I'm going to go in with is this one right here. And using the same brush, you can just go in a little bit below your transition. Just slightly. Kind of building it up for the more dramatic colors. But yet have that soft, light, feathery look. Going in with a smaller blending brush, I'm going to take this shade right here. We're going to place it in our crease, but slowly and surely. You don't want to just put it all at once, because then it can kind of look really bad. Wow, there's a lot of orange. And then feather it up. Using the same brush, I'm going to go in with this color right here. It's just a slightly darker shade than the first one. And you're just going to tap it in underneath that first color. And just tap. Going in with a different brush, I'm going to use this slightly orangey red color with a more of a packing blending brush. And we're going to tap that in on the outer corner. And just tap and then blend. It's like bend and snap, but instead it's tap and blend. back to the shade before, and I'm just going to run it a little bit on top so it doesn't have any too like rough of lines, just in case, because you do want to make this very soft but very powerful looking. Using a medium packing brush, I'm going to take this gold shade right here. It's one of my favorites to work with because it's just such a creamy texture, and I've never seen like a blinding gold for the lid as much as this one does, especially when you use some Fix Plus, which I am. We're just going to spray a little bit, and then we're going to pack it on. I'm just going to pack it on. See how like blinding it is just right off the bat? We're just going to pack it onto the lid and stop about 2/3 of the eye. And yeah, so this is just like a very like blinding gold. I just love it. Moving on to eyeliner, it should be no surprise to y'all because I use it in any video I do eyeliner, which is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. It's one of my favorite because of the brush is actually like bristles instead of a sponge, whereas like applicators with sponges, it's just kind of harder for me to do a wing, and I don't know why. The only one that I could really work with was the Stila one, which is very easy to use as well, but I always prefer this one because of the bristles. So yeah, it's my favorite because of that. Now I am going to slowly work onto a kind of defined wing today. So you just want to work it out to the outer corner and then move to your bottom lashes. You never want to go from your top lash line. You always want to kind of follow the bottom lash line and just kind of slowly do some small strokes. For face, my favorite primer would have to be the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Pearl. It is just a nice kind of dewy effect, even though I do use kind of more of a full coverage foundation. It's just I find whenever you use like a matte kind of primer, it just does not work fully for me. I always have to use a dewy foundation primer with my full coverage. My favorite foundation that I've been using since I think I was maybe 13 when I first used it is the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation. It is one of my favorite full coverage foundations because of the fact that this one is actually kind of lighter than my skin tone, but it does oxidize on my skin a little bit, but it has such a big surrounding like ranges of skin tones that it's easy for me to get a shade lighter, when in any other foundation brands they just have like the lightest shade is supposed to just work for me because that's what they say that is their lightest shade. And even then, it could get a little too dark on me, and I don't feel like that is right. So I love the fact that Kat Von D has such an amazing range of foundation, even for light skin to dark skins. It's just an all-over good brand that thought of every shade there could be, in my opinion. And I know that there may be a few shades that they still need, but they at least have something close to it. Now this one is definitely no surprise because pretty much every beauty guru loves this, and I know why, because I love it just for the same reasons. It is the Tarte Shape Tape, which is an amazing concealer. It works with dark under eyes or any spots that you have. It's so full coverage that basically you don't have to use a whole lot, so it does last you a lot longer than normal concealers, in my opinion. So if you're looking for a good concealer and one that has a lot of coverage, I definitely recommend the Shape Tape. Now I just apply it in a small triangle. Like, you don't have to go all the way down with this one because it does blend out a lot. Just going to conceal some of the little areas, but also highlight it as well. So, not today, Zits, not today. Time to set everything. My ride or die has to be the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I know everyone's been using this. It's pretty much everyone's favorite, and there's a reason why. It works so wonderfully. It does not dry on my skin. It doesn't do anything like per se weird, and it sets everything where it doesn't even oxidize on my skin, which is amazing. Now, I am not going to bake. That's another thing about this powder, is you can bake with it, but I am not, because I just don't really have the time to do that today. And I'm just going to apply it in the areas that I really need it, because I do get a little dry in some areas. But if it goes over the dry areas, it's not too bad. Now, going back to the Jaclyn Hill palette, I am going to take this reddish shade from earlier and apply it down with a small blending brush below my lower lash line. And you just kind of want to work that in. And then taking this darker brown and applying it slightly above where you just applied that red shade. Now taking a very small packing brush, and I'm going back in with the gold. And I am going to spray a little bit of Fix Plus onto this. And we're going to highlight the inner corner of my eye. Now for brows, which another thing I know I say it's not a surprise because it really isn't, it's going to be the Anastasia Brow Wiz. It is one of my favorite brow products to just use. You can get a very nice clean looking brow with it. And then I'm not going to do too of a defined brow because I do have already like pretty much defined brows as it is. I just want to kind of enhance it. Mascara, I'm going in with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. It is a very nice mascara. It does not transfer above my eyebrow, which is nice because for me, I do have a little bit longer lashes that throughout the day it just kind of transfers there, and I'm like, that's not cool. And I know I could be using like just normal waterproof mascara, but let's just be honest, no one likes waterproof mascara. It's so much a hassle to take it off, and it just lasts for a long time too. It's like, I just want it off my eyelashes at the end of the day. For bronzer, I love using this one because I've used it in every competition that I ever did, and it is the MAC Matte Bronze Powder. Now, you can kind of tell that it's been truly loved, and it is just a nice shade. It doesn't get too dark, but it's not too light on me where it's like, is there any bronzer on you? Like, come on. And for me being so pale, it is kind of hard to find a nice bronzing powder. And since I found this one, it's been my go-to because it's just, again, it's just an all-over nice bronzer. It is one of my favorite because it's a nice neutral pink. It is the Bobbi Brown in the shade Desert Pink. It is just a lovely rosy color. For highlighter, it is going to be the NARS Albatross. It is a nice neutral highlight, kind of, if you could even call it neutral. It's just, I find with this one, it's a lot easier to use than others for pale skin because, let's just face it, no girl that is pale skin wants a streak of just gold or just plain on, like, I use Champagne Pop and it's an amazing highlighter, but it is a little bit too much for my skin tone. Last and certainly not least, my favorite product for lips is hands down Jeffree Star Cosmetics liquid lipsticks, and any shade of his is my favorite. The lipstick consistency is always spot on, it's not too drying, it's not too liquidy, and the application is always so easy to use the doe foot applicator. I'm just going to say that, it's so easy. So if you're looking for a good liquid lipstick, I would totally recommend his, especially in the shade Designer Blood. Is one of my favorite shades. It's just a nice vampy look to any eyeshadow look that you want. It's time to set everything, and I'm going in with the MAC Studio Fix, and it is no surprise, it's one of my favorites. Now that is everything, so if you have not already, hit that like button down below as well as hit that subscribe button, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are. Bye my loves!
You better turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rocking if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby.